Hey kids, welcome back to Enter the Atmosphere for Laine Hardy Part 3. We've been working on this for a few weeks. Sorry it's taking me a while, but this is a lot of work pulling this all together. And we've had all kinds of things going on in Nashville with the big immersive conference this last weekend. All kinds of cool stuff. So before we get started, let me do a quick little shout out to Paula Ann at Ablaze Entertainment for bringing Laine into the fold here. And man, this is going to be a blast. We're getting ready to cut some more songs on him. Here around the 21st of the month, which is going to be fantastic. And let's make sure we get a few people some thank yous out of the way real quick. First off, relax the back. This chair, I got a brand new chair, and thank you. It's amazing. It's made a huge difference in my day-to-day life. So thank you guys. Then we want to thank our longtime buddies, Triad Orbit, for all the stuff that makes everything happen in here. It's just, we can't do the show without you guys. And our brand new sponsors, Vocal Booth. It's we've cut vocals in this thing for since we've got it non-stop. It's been amazing because you can set it up anywhere, and it's just been quite the blessing. So then we got a few people like DPA for the mics that we got to use on the drums, which made our life so much easier. Our buddies at Norman for bringing their M49A over. Our buddies over at Heiserman for the 251. Our good friends over at Neve, Hugh. We've been having a blast hanging out with you this last weekend. So what we're going to be doing in this episode is we're going to be finishing up the mix, showing you how we edited everything from the drums all the way up to the vocals to the tricks, all the goodie, all the fun stuff. So thanks again for being patient with me and giving me a little time to put this together. It's been a few weeks now, but I promise it'll be worth it. So everybody hang right there. Let's do this.
Try not best.
Okay, we put it in the Atmos theme. All right, kids, welcome back. First up, I want to introduce you guys to my trusty assistant, Miss Jessie Brady. There she is. Come on. Magically appearing. So yeah, and that's Doug back here in the back. He's hanging out, he's supervising. It's all good.
He's making sure we cover everything.
That's right. That's right. So Jessie helped me with the drums because I hate editing drums worse than life, and she's amazing at it and helped me out during the whole process. So anyways, all right, let's get to this thing. Let's go to Pro Tools. Okay, what we're going to do is we're kind of going to start. Let's use the, we're going to start with the edit page here. Let's just roll up here to where we're at and we'll show you the madness. All right, let's go here. We'll get up out of the way here. Okay, we're going to start with the drums and what we did and what Jessie did and the reasoning why and all that good stuff. So it's a combination of the live drums and samples, and that's pretty much the way everybody does it nowadays. So I had Jessie come in and she basically chopped everything up, aligned everything, got it all groovy, and it makes it a lot easier when you got really great players like Wes Little.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
gosh, So you want to kind of tell them how you did that a little bit? Yeah.
So we know it can be a tedious process. So I have a few shortcuts that really speed up the process. So you have to make sure tab to transient is on. And then once you tab to the first transient, if you hold shift and tab to the next, it can select the whole clip. Then.
And y'all guys know where that is. That's right there. Tab to transient.
Yes.
Oh wait, you can't see it because of us. We're in the way. Let's show you better. We'll move over. All right. See my mouse right up here in the left corner? It's that button right there. If you don't know where it is, that's your friend.
Yep,
Okay.
it'll save your life.
There we go. All right, we'll go back to this side. Go ahead.
So then use Command E to split the whole clip, and Command 0 puts it on the nearest grid value.
Cool.
So, yeah.
And after you do that about 40 million times,
3 hours later.
yeah, 3 hours later.
Yeah, then you have an align track with a bunch of gaps that you can fill in with Beat Detective pretty
That's right.
fast, and just listen through and make sure that it sounds good and your transients are all there.
So once she did all that and got everything kind of just on the grid where it makes it, easier to replace or add to with samples, then you realize that other things are out. So,
Yeah.
and that's not
Yeah.
the player's fault because they're playing with, with the drummer doing their thing. So we came in and we edited the bass. Now I've consolidated it since then, but we edited the bass just where everything's tight and lined up. All right, kids, so to be able to hear everything that we're doing, put on your trusty headphones. Hopefully they're Odysseys, the MM500s. Shameless plug to my friends. But let's go to just right before the bass comes in. The intro is bassless and then comes in right at about the middle of the first verse. So there it goes. So we get that all lasered up and lightning tight. And then kind of give you the 411 on what we did sample-wise. It's a little nutty.
The best things usually are.
Yeah, got a little out of control, but it was fun. So on the kick drum, we've got the original kicks, and then we have the sampled kicks, which are these two right here. So this sounds like so there's a little bit of air on this one here. That's a Near Z sample that I use there, who's a great drummer here in Nashville and has a great sample package. And then this little one that's on the top is kind of for that tick so it cuts. Nope, sorry, that's the one that for the lower side. And then we use the near one for the little point. So, and then we've got this one right here, which is the original on the outside, and this is the original on the inside. So you can see they needed a little bit of love, but and we could have EQ'd and compressed them, which we did a little bit, but we could have done a lot more to really, but samples are the thing, and that's what we did. So there we go. Okay. And it sounds a little funny by itself. It's got a little, but in the mix, that's all that matters at the end of the day. Then so we added in the snare drum, and so snare sounds okay, but let's add, here's the bottom to the snare, little crack. And as far as the EQ and compression on those, and remember, we're mixing Atmos first, but we're mixing this, these are raw tracks, and we're going at it just like you would in a stereo mix, but we're doing this Atmos first. So we got that cooking. Here's the cacophony of, of snare samples that, I went a little out of my mind, but here's the first one. It's got that sound. That's with all of them. Actually, I got them grouped. Probably need to ungroup them so you can hear them individually. So group. So we got this dude. That sound. Little side crack of the stick there. Little high-pitched little joker there. This one's got a tail on it. Got a little popish little sound. And then this one, more crack, just because I didn't have enough, so I added another one. A little bit different. This this little meat and tater area I was missing, so you put them all together. There we go. So you're getting the grace notes and everything from the original snare, but you're getting the crack and the pop from the samples. Then into the toms, same thing on the toms. Edited those down, took all the nastiness out in the middle to where we had just a tom by itself, and then we added samples to that as well, just to fill it out. And did the same thing with the overheads. Actually, the overheads sounded funky at the end, so we just wound up using samples for that. So now that you know kind of what we're doing, we'll play all the drums. So there's a little swell at the beginning. It's kind of just a sample. Get the idea. Here we go. Add the rooms in. Here comes the perk. Then the loop. Cool. Okay, so we got all that. That's all running. Try not to get this too complicated of what I'm doing, but you guys have seen my template before. So all those drums are running down here to a drum sub that I'm using the good old up mixer to kind of spread it around the room a little bit. And that's basically what we did to get the drums rocking. Then we did a whole bunch of, this is stuff that we've added since the session that you guys saw. We'll just start, some of this stuff came from Splice, it came from different, sample packs and things that I've had and played with. And just give you like little transitions. These are fun. And what they're doing in the mix, in the Atmos mix. So like here's one. It's just a basic swish kind of sound that's coming in, and I've added this one to it to give it a little bit more. Little zing on the top. So, and what's cool about those, if you notice here in the, I'll show you so you can see it bigger one more time, but it's automated, and I'm just doing a little ride. Kind of pull it off the back of the wall just a little bit as I'm coming in. Just it makes it poke a little more when you do that. It's taking it out of phase when you do that, but you hear it. So just for a second. So then let's see. Here's another transition. It's like a little vocal thing that's, an ah. Here's this one again. And then another one, another ah. And then we get into this little section here. So this is the bridge and the breakdown. And all that stuff's moving around the room. Sounds crazy, but it sounds so awesome. Yeah, it's fun. So this is what it sounds like with the whole gang going at it. Here we go. I'll just play it from about right here.
I ain't there yet, I ain't perfect, but I'm working on it. I'm more on the ride most all the time, but hell, I'm just getting started. Learning on the fly how to be a better guy. I die trying to fill those boots. Oh.
Yeah, cool stuff. So then let's get on into the rest of the mix. So that's our little transitional pieces. We got some perk going on, and then we have the loop that I've EQ'd and filtered a little bit so that it mixes well with others. And then the bass, what we did with the bass is we're doubling it up. You know, I've talked to you guys about this trick before where we make a copy of it and I'm sending one to the rear. And that concept will be valuable next week when we get into what we're doing, because it's like the ultimate. Yeah. We go a little crazy on that. So again, thanks to Sean, the dude's brilliant, and I'm digging on his concepts. So anyways, then we got the acoustic guitar, and that's kind of moving into the middle, you know, pulled into the room a little bit so that it fills it out. Electrics are kind of here and here, just kind of doing their thing, and EQing just a little bit. I like the API. I use the API a lot. On the bass, I did have our bass, which, if you're familiar with that, that's a oldie but a goodie. Then we get into there's just a little bit of spring reverb on the B3. That's about it, and it's placed more in the back of the room. And then the steel guitar, I've got it placed higher and up to the right, and it's going to a reverb that's more up front, which gives it this, you know, essence of he's huge in the room. Of course, this is the one and only Scott Sanders, who's an amazing player and one of my dearest friends on earth. So you can hear that. Let's run into this. It's this reverb right here, which is up high, and it's kind of in this mid-range thing up above us. And good old Pro R, real long, a little bit top rolled off, dip it in this little area in that 600 range, just kind of not compete too much with the steel. And they're, of course, an object. All right, cool. So that's the steel. The guitars are, you know, they're kind of fun to listen to by themselves, but such great players. Nathan Keeterly destroyed it. Let's give you an idea what he's doing. Yeah, cool stuff. Real modern sounding. He's just amazing player. Okay, so by the magic of edits, I just had a nice little Snickers, and it does satisfy. Yeah, I didn't eat breakfast this morning, so I had to get something to keep me going. So, and I didn't want to mess this up. So here we go. The man of the hour, Mr. Laine Hardy. So, we recorded his vocals on the Heiserman 251, and it came into Pro Tools. So you see there's two of them. So we've done our little magic with doing Melodyne, and, you know, not a lot of tuning on him because he sings great. And then it was mono, so I made a copy of it and copied all the plugins, copied everything. Everything's going to 2, and those are running to our left-right objects, which are set up back up in here, right here, as you can see. So let's get into that. On his vocal, I've got a little bit of a de-esser. And like I said, I know people are going to comment, hey, you did that in a different order. Well, I do it in a different order every song. You just never know what it's going to need. Sometimes I'll, do retractive EQing before that, sometimes after that. Just kind of depends on the song. So here we go. This is his vocal. Got a, rolling off around 70 down. A little dip here in that 218 to get the mud, get some of that gunk out of there. Usually I boosted around 500, but he didn't need it. His enunciation and his vowels are, usually that's the vowel area where you kind of dig it out and try to grab. Had a little bit of that honk at around the 5K mark, so I dipped that out a little bit, and then started a little boost to get some fairy dust back on the top at about 7K and up, so nothing too crazy. Then we're using the old infamous 1176 trick with the attack all the way to the left on 1, release all the way on to the right on 7. Grabs it quick, smashes it pretty good, takes those top transients off and really controls it. So then next up we used the LA2A, the classic, for the good creamy, nice, smooth, vocal reverb that everybody knows and loves. And then last but not least, this MV2, which just sped up the time for automation because it's pulling those lows up and getting your volume up to where you don't have to dig everything out when you're writing your automation. Just saves you time. Then sounds good. So then on the effects side, I've got a long throw that's automated, just a couple of spots, not very well, 3 spots. It's doing this thing where it goes. Let's do both ears.
I had to be a better guy. I died trying to fill those boots. I wanna be the.
So it's the boots delay, so that's kind of fun. And then on the reverb side, there's a I'll show you what I'm doing there. This is just to kind of give it that thing that everybody likes at the end. Here we go.
I wanna be that man. I wanna say what I mean when I say it. I wanna shut up and listen. I wanna wake up and be.
So it gives you that tail at the end of the reverb. So it's kind of a popular trick these days. So, and that's automated also in the on the reverb side. So this is a fun little trick. Everybody's asking how I did this, so I'll show you. Basically just took a lyric that he said and chopped it up into little pieces here and rhythmic, and then did a little bit of a, let's see if I can show you. I trimmed them. Each waveform was just a little bit, quieter, louder, and then boom. Sounds like this when you hear it. So that's being filtered. I used EQ7. I did that in Audio Suite and just came in and did the telephone effect on it. No low, no top, and then threw a verb on it. Threw it back in the mix. So when you put it into the mix, it sounds like. We'll back up just a little bit here so you get the idea.
I wanna say what I mean when I say it. I wanna shut up and listen. I wanna wake up and be.
So just a little event there just kind of pulls your ear and just makes you, oh, cool. And it's moving around the room. And things like that are always, you don't have to go crazy with it because sometimes things can be, they can be gimmicky when you do too much stuff. It's like, okay, that's dumb. It's not, you're not going to see that or hear that in any live environment. So, but sometimes it's fun just to do a little ear candy is what I call it. So I did that there. I did one at the very beginning of the song with the electric guitar, and I did it on this one right here. And this is kind of fun. It's nothing crazy, but you can get the idea. So watch the panning on this one. This is just from the intro. So it just gives you that kind of, wakes you up and, hey, what's that? Let's move it around the room. So as long as you don't go nuts with that stuff, it's got to be tasty and it's got to be musical. It's got to make sense. So which makes it fun when you're mixing Atmos and you're the producer. You get to do your thing. So it's fun. Okay, so now let's get into the choruses. So Laine lives down in Louisiana and is traveling, and he's a busy boy these days. So we didn't have time to get him back up here to sing the harmonies. So the harmonies were left in this. So I took a copy of Laine's vocal, and I put it into Melodyne, and then I sang with the mouse. He sang with me moving things around, and this is what we did. So you'll notice there's 2 copies of that same vocal. So I did it once, tuned it, got it perfect, and then I went into Melodyne, and there's a cool little trick in Melodyne where you come in, show you how it works. You do all your tuning, and you write your harmony part, and that's just takes time and practice doing that. But then once you're done, you make a copy of it, and on the copy you come in here and you select all, and once you have select all, you come up here to where it says edit. And then you come down here to this little button that says add random deviations. And first you do it twice. Once you hit moderate for pitch. So I won't do it because I've already done it. You hit pitch and you just let go of it and it does this thing. And what that's doing is just causing minor little, just teeny tiny micro little movements of the pitch. So you got, and you pan these left and right. So you got the first one pan left, next one pan right, or however. And the deviated one is going to be on the right usually, and just a little bit of pitch difference, and all of a sudden it sounds more real and less robotic, and it gives it width because you're adding that deviation. And then I'll do the same thing with the timing. So the timing's just a teeny bit. We're not talking bump 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 bump, things like that. We're talking real gradual. You can't barely hear it, but you feel it more than anything. So, and that you do the same way. You just take it down here to. I usually do it on moderate or subtle. Sometimes I'll do drastic if it's more of a, you want that effect of that kind of flanging kind of thing, because it will do that. And then you let it go. And then what you got is you've got the originally tuned harmony part that you built from Laine's vocal, and then the tuned harmony part that's been deviated by changing the pitch and changing the timing a little bit. Play them all together. And you got this.
I ain't there yet, I ain't perfect, but I'm working on it. I'm more wrong than right most all the time, but hell, I'm just getting started.
Anyways, you get the idea. So that's how we built the harmonies. And we're getting there, I promise. Slowly but surely, we're almost there. Alright, so I got the harmonies all dialed in, everything's good, the vocals are dialed in, got the mix where I want it, everything's cool. And then the next step is I'm going to print it. Once we have everything like we want it, we're going to print what I call a pre-master. At this point, I'm not really too concerned about where I'm at on the LKFS. I think this one was clicking, it was clicking somewhere in the neighborhood of -14, -15, so it was a little hot, but not too terribly hot. So I print this and then bring that into the mastering template and master it, which was pretty straight ahead and simple. But this one didn't need a whole lot because it was pretty much there when I got it there. So, but just fine tuning it, making sure there was no clicks, clacks, pops. Anyway, so. I know you guys are dying for me to play this from start to finish, but I promise Laine, until he releases it, I won't. But I will give you, I think he'll be alright if I play, you don't think we'll play from like the bridge to how about the bridge out? Would that work? Alright, here we go. If I wind up editing this later, he wasn't happy, but I'm sure he'll be fine. Here we go.
the sun and the moon. I ain't there yet, I ain't perfect, but I'm working on it. I'm more on the ride most all the time, but hell, I'm just getting started. Learning on the fly how to be a better guy. I'll die trying to fill those boots. I wanna be that man, wanna be that man for you. I wanna go to church on a Sunday, talk to God a little more than I am. I wanna be that man.
Pretty awesome. Kid's got talent. I tell you what, I know the world knows it. Seen him on Idol and winning season 17. But I think people are going to be surprised. That's been a few years back, and how much he's matured as an artist and just is singing better than ever. This song's great. I think we're cutting 4 more here in a few weeks, and I'm just excited. I can't wait you guys to hear the whole song front to back. But that's Be That Man, and from Laine Hardy, and it's coming soon. All right, that about wraps it up for this week. Thank you guys for sticking with me through these 3 really long episodes, and thank you, Laine. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, everybody, for all the sponsors and everybody that helped make this happen. And I really appreciate it. And things are going great, and just feel blessed every day to come in here and work and get to mix things in Atmos and produce and do what I do. We'll see you next week. God bless.
Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell down below, and make sure you get notified for all of our upcoming episodes here at Enter the Atmosphere.